So now friends, you must have clearly understood the, the concept of spacer. So whenever you give a spacer, the lung deposition as compared to the lung deposition you can see that the inhaler when used, the drug deposition is seen like this, and when a spacer is used, the drug deposition is seen like this. So you can better understand that why a spacer is needed. This is spacer, this is MDI without spacer. So now you can visualize that why spacer is necessary in MDI, right? So you can very well see that spacer is needed for a better lung deposition of the drugs. Okay, so this is all about MDI. Now you can see various types of MDIs we have got in market. This is budesonide MDI. Okay, this is budesonide MDI, and this is levosalbutamol MDI. Who will tell me which is reliever and which is preventer? Yes, you are right. This is a preventer. It is budesonide, which is a preventer drug. Preventer drugs will always come in red shades. So for the patients who are illiterate, you can say them that don't stop. Red means don't stop, right? And green means whenever there is a problem, you have breathlessness, you have cough, you have congestion, you can use this and you can stop when you are relieved. So this is a preventer drug, this is a reliever drug, and again this is ipratropium bromide and levosalbutamol. In the last lecture when we were discussing about relievers, I forgot about anticholinergic drugs which are also bronchodilators, and that is ipratropium bromide, right? You must have read in your atropine like drugs when you were discussing anticholinergics. So this is ipratropium bromide and levosalbutamol. Ipratropium bromide has got a synergistic effect with levosalbutamol. Ipratropium bromide alone is not a very good bronchodilator because it is not going to relieve much because of M3 receptors are not much in lung in bronchi, right? So it is always used when it is always used with levosalbutamol. It is a better synergistic combination. It causes a longer lasting effect and longer lasting effect of bronchodilation. So this, when you are seeing that asthma is not relieved only by levosalbutamol, then Deolin or a combination of levosalbutamol along with ipratropium bromide is a better drug in aerosol therapy. Okay, then there is another reliever which is for moderate persistent asthma, and that is salmeterol and fluticasone. What is salmeterol? What is salmeterol? Long acting beta 2 agonist. Long acting to beta 2 agonist means that it is a long acting beta 2 agonist, so it is not a reliever, it is a preventer. It will prevent nocturnal asthma, nocturnal cough and nocturnal respiratory distress. So it is used in synergistic combination along with fluticasone, and it is a better drug when corticosteroids, inhaled corticosteroids are used. So this is the second stage when salmeterol and fluticasone. Fluticasone is an inhaled corticosteroid in place of budesonide, and salmeterol is added in this, And this zero flow or many other, zero flow is basically a trade name. So zero flow can be used, salmeterol fluticasone can be used in moderate persistent asthma. Okay, so if you remember, when a patient is there who has, it is a normal airway. This is the normal airway with normal bore, and you can see that orangish mucosa, and this is a airway which is hyper responsive airway, allergic airways, right? Whenever there is trigger, it will swell up, it will redden, and this is the airway which is of a COPD patient. You can see a COPD patient, all the mucosa is inflamed, and there is only a pinhole type of air lumen is remaining behind. So this is COPD, this is hyperreactive airways, and this is normal airways. So what you have to do in just a brief revision, in hyperactive airways, initially you have to add Montelukast and antihistaminic drugs, combination of Montelukast as well as levocetrazine, and when it doesn't work, then you add this levosalbutamol along with levosalbutamol as a reliever, and budesonide as the inhaled corticosteroid in mild persistent asthma. And when mild persistent, along with Montelukast and levocetrazine, and when you see that it is not relieved even after mild persistent asthma is not relieved, it has gone into a moderate persistent asthma, GINA class 2, then you have to add apratropine bromide along with levosalbutamol. So this is the grading by which you can grade how you have to add different drugs, right? Levosalbutamol and apratropine bromide along with as a reliever, along with salmeterol and fluticasone as a preventer drug, right? And what happens in severe persistent asthma? Systemic corticosteroids, right? So this is all about meter dose inhaler. Now coming on to a dry powder inhaler. Dry powder inhaler, before that, coming on dry powder inhaler, I will show you tomorrow, okay? Because we don't have right now a dry powder inhaler, so I will take a small class of dry powder inhaler along with your demonstration of the dry powder inhaler. Now the second modality of treatment is nebulization. So what is the difference between meter dose inhaler and nebulizer? First you see what is a nebulizer. This is a compressor. This is a compressor device. When you on it, there is compressor which is working. Okay? This is the compressor device. Okay? When you want to nebulize it, what you do is, this is the nebulizer. This is a nebulizer. What is there in the nebulizer? This is face mask. The main component of the nebulizer is this. There is a tubing. There is a chamber in which, drug chamber in which the drug is deposited. Okay? And here you can see a very pinhole type of meatus. Pinhole type of hole in this. So this airway is connected to this tubing, and this tubing has a funnel inside projecting upwards, and there is a pinhole from which air will come out. Okay? And this pinhole is covered with a projector. This is the projector. The air will come out with a very fast stream because there is a larger amount of air which is going inside by the compressor, and when it is coming out, the inlet is very narrow. This outlet is very narrow, and that too it is covered also. So what will happen? there will be a jet of air which is coming out, which will be very fast, and this jet of air, after striking this, it will form a pressurized mode over this liquid column. This pressurized mode now will be the same action as in this canister mode, which you have seen in MDI. This is canister which you have seen in the MDI. This is now the principle will be same, because this will be covered. This will be totally covered, right? Now when you covered this pressure, air pressure, which is coming out of a very fast jet stream, this will cause pressure over this liquid. This liquid is combined with a surfactant. Again a surfactant is there. Surfactant will cause decrease in the surface tension, same as detergents are causing, जो झाग आपके बनते हैं सर्फ एक्सेल से, वैसे ही झाग इसमें भी बनेंगे. यहाँ पे भी डिटर्जेंट है, तो ये डिटर्जेंट क्या करेगा, सरफेस टेंशन को लो कर देगा, और ये सरफेस टेंशन लो होने के बाद दिस विल कॉज अ ड्रॉपलेट्स, माइक्रो ड्रॉपलेट्स which will break up, and these micro droplets, when they will break up, they will come inside the air as a aerosol formation. See what will happen. I will demonstrate before you. Sumit, इसको hold कर. This tubing is now fitted with this compressor, and I am going to on this compressor. Now you can see this, that there is a droplet, micro droplets coming out in the atmosphere, and they are same as the aerosols, right? These aerosols now will be taken in the breath of the patient. You can increase this aerosol formation by increasing the pressure more. Now there will be minor droplets which will be coming out. The droplets will you can see the stream has gone thickened. Now this micro droplets will be going more deeper inside the lungs. जितना आप प्रेशर बढ़ाते जाएंगे उतना ही nebulization होता चला जाएगा. This is basically the concept of nebulizer, same as the Bernoulli principle you have read in physics. Okay, so this is the nebulization which is occurring. I think everyone, the fumes are visible in the screen also. Okay. All drugs. What is the basic difference between a nebulizer and a MDI? Meter dose inhaler and MDI. Meter dose is basically it is actuated. This is actuated doses. So these actuated doses, they are counted also. One thing I forgot to tell you, in this MDI you can see dose counter also. There is a dose counter. The many times you press, this dose will go on decreasing, right? And there are 200 doses inside. It is written on top of this. There are 200 doses. जैसे ही patient को dose कम होने लगती है, he has to buy a new one. So this is a dose counter which is available on this. Okay? This is the dose counter. So nebulizer is non-actuated. जितना भी आपका मन हो, जितना भी nebulizing fluid आपको देना हो, वो आप uncontrolled रूप से दे सकते हैं. Okay? Second thing is that this MDI is basically for home treatment. This is the carry home message, that MDI you can take on yourself. Nebulizer which is misused and बहुत सारे पेशेंट्स को हम लोग दे देते हैं नेबुलाइजर घर पे लेने के लिए. दिस इज रॉन्ग बिकॉज अनमॉनिटर्ड डोज रहती है, अनअक्चुएटेड अनमॉनिटर्ड डोज रहती है. द पेशेंट कैन टेक अ लॉट ऑफ डोज which is not recommended, that can be toxic also. So it should always be under monitored circumstances and should be a hospital use thing. It should be always meant for serious patients who are very frail, who cannot take breath, who are unconscious, or small child who cannot actuate breathing even in the spacer. So they have to take it by nebulizer. They cannot breathe inside. You tell a newborn to breathe inside, he is not able to breathe inside. Okay, so usually nebulizers are for serious patients. But now in this era of corona, when you are not allowing any aerosol to go inside, because all the mode of infections for corona is aerosol therapy. So when aerosol therapies can get infected with corona, and they can cause infection. So we are avoiding aerosol these days. So what we do is that we save patients to take 5 puffs. If the patient is sick and you want to give increased doses, you give 5 puffs, 20 minutes interval, then again 5 puffs, and then 20 minutes interval, and then again 5 puffs. So this will work as a increased dose, this will work as a nebulizer. You can give the MDI plus spacer in place of nebulizer, because there will be no contamination of corona or any viral infections with aerosol therapies. यहाँ पर क्या होगा, this can be contaminated. This whatever fumes are coming out, they can be contaminated with corona. So we are discarding aerosol therapy by nebulization these days. Okay, you can take MDI with actuated, and actually we पहले भी हम लोग जब बच्चा या कोई बड़ा जिसको हम लोग को ज़्यादा डोज में देना होता था, उसके पास नेबुलाइजर नहीं होता था, and he is having severe acute attack, what we do is we give by this method 5 puffs 20 minutes, 5 puffs 20 minutes, 5 puffs 15 puffs in a matter of 40-45 minutes, can do equally good as nebulizer, right? So nebulizer is day by day it is getting obsolete. What you give in nebulizers? There is a nebulization, 2 types of nebulizer drugs are there. One is respirator solution, and second is respules. What is the difference between respirator solution and respules? Respirator solution is a concentrated solution. Suppose Asthalin respirator solution has got 1 ml, has got 0.5 milligram. 1 ml of Asthalin has got 0.5 milligram, whereas in Livolin or Livolin Respule or salbutamol, levosalbutamol Respules, 1 ml is equal to 0.1 milligram of salbutamol. So Respules have got a diluted form, they are ready to use, and they are combined with this surfactant. They are combined with a surfactant. So this 1 ml of salbutamol along with surfactant is ready to use solution which can be directly put into the nebulizer, while as Asthalin has to be combined with a surfactant, and the most common surfactant which can be used in clinical practice is normal saline. Normal saline to some extent in high pressures, when combined with the drug, this is respirator solution. When you combine this with small amount of normal saline. Then this combination mixture, which is right there in this nebulizer chamber, can be given for 2.5 ml of this nebulizing solution can be given to a patient, serious patient. Okay, this is about respirator solution, and these are respules. This is Asthalin respule. This is a break open respule. You just twist it, it is broken open, and there is a solution inside which contains a surfactant along with Asthalin salbutamol drug, right? So this drug will be of a lower concentration than this drug which is of respirator solution. So I think you must have got the concept between respirator solution and the respules, right? Nebulizer, respirator solution or nebulized respule is meant only for hospital purposes, in emergency conditions, in unconscious patients where you need a higher dose, in severe respiratory distress, severe acute asthma. When you want to relieve this, then you can use a higher dose of reliever drugs. Nebulizer basically, and another point of difference is non-actuated and unmonitored. This is actuated and monitored. First difference. Second difference is unmonitored. This is monitored. Third difference, used in hospital settings. Third difference, it is MDI is used in home settings for routine use. Fourth, it is mainly meant for relievers, and it is mainly meant for relievers as well as preventers. So for long duration of time, for a chronic duration of time, MDI is a preferred mode for preventers. Also for relievers can be given. But nebulizer should be always used for relievers, not for prevention. You cannot give routine nebulization for preventing. You can give morning and evening nebulization for 3 months or 4 months or 6 months. You cannot give. So these are the 4 differences of meter dose inhaler and a nebulizer, which you must remember. So friends, now you have understood that there are 3 modes. One is meter dose inhaler, other is dry powder inhaler. Dry powder inhaler is nothing but dry powder inhaler is nothing but it is a capsule. It is a capsule in which there is dry powder inside, right? This dry powder is taken out in the chamber. Here this capsule is inserted, there is a hole inside and this capsule is inserted and there is a powdered portion is kept inside, right? So this is known as Rotacap. Rotacap is a trade name. Rotacap, it can be salbutamol Rotacap, it can be Zeroflow Rotacap, it can be a Budicord Rotacap, preventer or reliever, anything. And this, when inserted inside this hole, will be turned. Now this will be turned. It will be twisted. When it will be twisted, when this capsule strikes this projection process inside the chamber, this capsule will break open, okay, and there is a mouthpiece. What happens when this capsule gets broke open? This mouthpiece, you take this and you have to take breath and you have to take this whole powder, which is powdered dry powder, which is for the inhalation, and that will go inside the drug. What you can perceive is that what is the basic difference between MDI and DPI? Now, meter dose inhaler have got better and deeper drug absorption, drug distribution, while DPI has got a decreased drug distribution because it will be a decreased drug distribution because the drug is heavier and you have to actuate with your breath. Whereas in meter dose inhaler, you will simply press this, and when you press this, the drug will come out. You have to simply take the breath inside this spacer, and the drug will go inside your chest. One thing more I forgot to tell you about this spacer is that there is a valve inside. You can see this valve, yellow valve. What this valve do? Whenever you breathe, it will open, and whenever you breathe inside, you can hear this snap. Hear this snap. What happens? This valve gets closed. This valve gets closed. So this valve closes when the child breathes inside. That means the drug will never go inside this chamber. Only the drug, one way it will come inside your lungs. Okay? So this is that there is a valve inside. This valve prevents going the drug backwards. So MDI with spacer has got a deeper drug injection, and it can be given to any age. Extremes of age, it can be given to a 3-year child, or it can be given to a 75-year-old, very frail old person, while DPI can be given only to adults who can produce a very good breath. When they will breathe, then only it's again. The process of taking DPI is that whenever you breathe, you have to hold your breath for 10 counts, and then only you have to take your breath, because whenever you will take this, the whole deep dry powder will come out. So whenever you use DPI, this will be hold your breath, right? Then why, you will ask that why DPI are given? Why DPI are given when they are not of use? Why they are given? Because they are cheaper, and you have to practice pharmacoeconomics also. You are working, you are a doctor in a very low socioeconomic country. So for low socioeconomic status, you cannot prescribe MDI and spacer, because MDI and spacer are costing around 1000 rupees, and DPI you will get in 100 rupees only, right? So you have to remember this, that for when comparing this, although efficacy is low, but it is cost effective. So it will be cost effective, right? So this is all about, friends, about meter dose inhaler, dry powder inhalers, nebulizations, mechanisms, and what all drugs you are going to give in this. Everything is clear in this, and YouTube videos will be posted, uploaded in your group, and you can see and watch. Make notes. Whatever you has been taught, try to inculcate in that manual. Write in your manual, update it, and whenever we meet, we'll try to give marks on it. Thank you.